Trapjaw. He is either my favorite character or my second favorite character to Triclops. Love this guy. I thought he was awesome. I loved his coloring. Anything with purple and neon green and blue, those are you can't lose with me. Look at the coloring of this guy. He just creeps you out. Look at his trap jaw, and he had an arm that you could put different guns on, which I always thought was freaking awesome. Now, the funny part about him is he also has a little loop on the top of his head. Now, I can't think of anything more embarrassing for this guy that has an arsenal of guns and a trap jaw mouth than having a little kid put a string through his head and sail his ass from the top of Castle Grayskull down onto, I don't know, Fisto's back or something to attack him, whoever.
I actually did that. I actually did that.
We all did that, right? We all put the string through. And I think they did that in the commercials. I'm not sure. I don't know if we came up with the idea, but I always thought this guy has everything, but they're putting a string through his head and they're launching him from, like, that's so embarrassing. But you told me something interesting about him, though, how he was created. His name was actually Kronos. What happened with this Kronos guy?
First off, he was Skeletor's weapon expert. Of course, a guy that could change his arm to anything was the weapon expert. In the mini comics that he came with, that was part of the story where He-Man and Skeletor each had part of the power sword. They had to combine it. He got into Castle Grayskull and they had to get defeated. And the only way to defeat him was for He-Man and Skeletor to work together to defeat him. But according to the Michael Young Productions and the mini comics that went with that, when they rebooted the series 2002, before Trapjaw was before he was Trapjaw, he was just a henchman named Kronos. He was Skeletor's weapon expert, but he was also with Skeletor from the beginning before Skeletor was Skeletor. And what happened was when they were trapped in the Dark Hemisphere, he tried to lead an uprising against Skeletor.
I hate when I'm trapped in the Dark Hemisphere. Isn't it suck when you're trapped in the Dark Hemisphere?
It can be.
It's the worst. Don't ever get trapped in the Dark Hemisphere, anybody. You're gonna. So you're saying that Skeletor, he made an example out of him.
He led an uprising against Skeletor, and Skeletor defeated him bad.
Nice.
And to make an example of him, Skeletor rebuilt them using cybernetic parts and all, because as long as they're stuck in the Dark Hemisphere, he kept them around as an example. As, hey, look, Kronos is now Trapjaw. This is what happens when you go against me. I mean, Skeletor is the all-powerful Lord of Destruction, and he proved his point with that one. Destroyed the guy, and rebuilt him.
Yeah, no, Skeletor didn't mess around. He was a lot of jokes and a lot of insults, but Skeletor didn't play, especially in the comics and stuff. The show actually made a lot of these guys look goofy. I mean, I saw Skeletor knocking on Trapjaw's head one time, making the metal sound, ding 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 ding, trying to see, McFly, anybody home, McFly? Like, Trapjaw was the baddest ass of my toys, and I'm watching this show and he's getting knocked on like George McFly. I couldn't believe it by Biff.